Hello, I'm Kelly Hopley and I am the Graduate Diploma Lead here at ION, and a very warm welcome from me. So I'd like to take you through some of the important points about the Graduate Diploma, and you also might be considering studying this as credit-based short courses which you will stack or study as individuals. Patrick Holford is our founder, and I would like to share with you a very short video from Patrick right now.
ION started from a realization I had when driving down a hill in the Chilterns in 1982. I'd been deeply contemplating a paper by Dr. Linus Pauling, the twice Nobel Prize winner, and Dr. Abram Hoffer, the head of psychiatric research in Canada. They were speaking of a new paradigm called orthomolecular medicine. They proposed that by understanding a person's genetic uniqueness and their biochemical individuality, diseases could be prevented and reversed with the right ortho molecules, that is, nutrients. Could it really be, I thought, that diabetes and heart disease, obesity, even cancer and mental illness are a function, largely result of suboptimum nutrition, faulty nutrition and lifestyle? Now, in the early 80s, that was a radical idea. Jeff Bland was studying with Linus Pauling and went off to form the Institute of Functional Medicine. And I started ION with Linus Pauling as the patron, which spawned the whole profession of nutritional therapy as we know it today. The logic was and is that doctors simply do not have the time to study nutrition. Most barely get a day in their medical training. So the future would have to depend on developing an army of highly skilled nutritional therapists, not only knowledgeable about nutrition, but also how to affect nutrition and lifestyle changes. I left ION as CEO in 1998, and I've watched its training standard get higher and higher, now appropriately degree accredited with the highest quality of teaching, excellent short and postgraduate courses for continuing CPD. My own path has focused more lately on Alzheimer's disease and how to prevent it. It's a wonderful example of optimum nutrition in action. With only 1% of cases in the genes and no effective drug. My colleague at Oxford, Professor David Smith, who used to be Vice Dean at the University of Oxford's Division of Medical Science, now Emeritus Professor of Pharmacology, who has recently joined the Orthomolecular Medicine Hall of Fame along with Pauling and Hoffer, had shown up to 73% less brain shrinkage in a year compared to placebo, no further cognitive decline, and in fact, 30% of the trial's pre-dementia participants ended the year with a clinical dementia rating of 0. The best drug, by comparison, has reduced brain shrinkage by only 2%, with absolutely no clinical benefit at all. So let's break it down. First, the ones who benefit the most have a high blood level of homocysteine. So there you see a functional test of the kind that you're going to learn about as you study at ION. Those given B vitamins at high doses, 500 microgram of B12, for example, which is more than 200 times the RDA, which I call the ridiculous dietary arbitrary. As David Smith says, the optimal intake of a nutrient is simply the level that relieves symptoms of the individual, and we are all different. Also, his research showed that those with low omega-3 status didn't benefit from the B vitamins. So there you have the principle of synergy. You can't build a brain without both sufficient omega-3 and B vitamins. Correcting nutrition and lifestyle factors like this can reasonably be expected to cut the number of people getting Alzheimer's, the most terrible disease, by 1/3. This is the kind of thing you're going to learn and the kind of impact you can have in the world as a nutritional therapist. After 18 years of over 100 million man-hours at NASA at a cost of £8 billion, we are now getting images from deep space from the James Webb satellite orbiting about 1 million miles from Earth. I mean, what a bold vision that is. Yet here we are already with a science that can eliminate the vast majority of people's unnecessary suffering through optimum nutrition at a fraction of the cost. We may learn more about where planets came from, but if we don't learn quickly to put nutrition at the very top of our own and our nation's health agenda, our quality and quantity of life will continue to degenerate. Brain size has already shrunk from 1.49 to 1.35 kg since 10,000 years ago. IQ is falling at an estimated rate of 7% per generation. The demand for nutritional help, sadly, is growing exponentially. Becoming an ION-trained nutritional therapist is not only an excellent career choice, but it's intellectually, emotionally, morally, and spiritually fulfilling. It's about making a choice to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. I have never met anyone who regretted making that choice, however tough it can be, juggling life, money, and time. I wish you the very best and look forward to meeting you on the front line.
So hopefully you can see the slides and very much enjoyed the little video clip there from Patrick. So just bear in mind that some of the captions are not always accurate as to the words that have been delivered in the presentation. So just bear in mind that you may need to fill the gaps somewhat if possible. If not, then please do contact and we'll try and talk you through the particulars transcript if necessary. Okay, so some people, not all, but many join ION or consider joining ION because they're not happy with the current approach in terms of nutrition. The traditional approach has been very much one size fits all. And you can see the food plate here giving you an idea as to what that looks like. So the same amount of carbohydrates, vegetables, protein and dairy, and fat, of course, for every single person, which doesn't really consider their age, their culture, their religion, their needs, and many other factors that you'll learn around the course. At ION, we consider a much more, I would say, individual food plate. And this is a real food focus with lifestyle advice, targeted supplementation, and the use of functional testing to assess and monitor where necessary. And you can see the food plate here is quite different. So the percentages here are different, as you can see, but also this will very much depend on the individual. So whilst one person could benefit from being vegan, someone else may benefit from being carnivore. And this depends on a whole host of factors which pulls the body systems together. And here are just some of the ideas. And with the graduate diploma, the modules are very much based on the different areas that you can see here. So we have the neuroendocrine, looking at hormone, neurotransmitter regulation, thyroid, communication around the body. We have detox and GI, and I think the clue is in the name there, but looking at biotransformation and the elimination of toxins and metabolic byproducts. Defense and repair, we have the immune. Gut function, and you can see we also consider the mind, body, the spirit, the heritage and the culture. Any dietary imbalances or nutrient deficiencies that the client might be suffering from. And this is very much a client-led approach and a negotiation. We're not here to dictate to our clients. We're here to find a plan or a nutrition lifestyle change which follows or meets their needs. And you can see a little bit more about that here. So why bother studying personalised nutrition? Well, you could add it potentially to your current work or practice. It allows you to identify the root cause sooner, particularly with functional testing. Often we have speedy client recovery with the targeted use of supplementation. And it's like being a detective. It's finding the problem and linking all of the clues to try and understand why that client might be symptomatic. And we are supported by the University of Portsmouth. And you can see here, University of Portsmouth's top 10 UK Young University. And you will also have access to the University of Portsmouth Library. And this can be in person if you're close by, or indeed online. So the course is modular. So what we mean by this is you'll study different modules on different topics. At the end of each one, there will be an assessment, a 3,000-word assessment to submit. And we work on the graduate diploma in trimesters. So if you happen to be studying full-time, you would be studying 2 modules per trimester. And if part-time, 1 module per trimester. We do have occasional in-person events, but they are by no means mandatory because we do realise that we have many overseas students. And the course is designed to be an online training course. And here you can see some of the modules that you will study on the graduate diploma. Functional nutrition, behaviour change, detox and GI, neuroendocrine, cardiometabolic, and immune. And as I said, this can be studied full-time, part-time, or as a credit stacking option. You will also have the opportunity, once the graduate diploma is complete, to study the clinical practice module. And this is online again, but real work in training clinic, dealing with real clients with real issues, but having the benefits of a training clinic coordinator, supervisor to guide you through the consultations and give you that necessary feedback to hone your skills. In addition to that, you might want to consider studying the coaching module or the career and business planning. If you were to study full-time, as I mentioned, you would be studying 2 modules per trimester, and you can see from the screen here how that is laid out. So we begin in February, and you would study functional nutrition and behaviour change, detox and GI and neuroendocrine, cardiometabolic and immune as the year goes through. And then you may decide to complete with clinical practice, allowing you to register with the British Association of Nutritional Therapists. If you were studying part-time, then you would study 1 module per trimester, and that would then run over 2 years. And again, you will still have the option to complete the clinical practice module at the end, or any of the other modules that I mentioned earlier. The entry requirements, so you will require a first degree in health sciences, allied health, CAM, or similar. And if you wanted to go on to do the clinical practice, you will require some background in clinical practice. If you're not sure whether you do have the necessary prerequisites, do contact admissions at ion.ac.uk. I'll share all of the addresses at the end, because we can recognise prior learning. And although you may not feel that you have enough prior learning, skills are transferable, so you may be surprised. So please don't hesitate to contact. As I said, this is online learning with a community of learners, supportive academic tutors, and guest speakers. You will have pre-recorded material to view in your own time, and you'll be guided as to when and what to watch, or indeed listen to. You'll be guided to additional research of where you can reach out and expand on the topic. And then the live sessions are delivered online on a Wednesday evening. It would be a 2-hour slot if you were full-time and a 1-hour slot if you were part-time. And that is between 7 and 8 or 7 and 9 p.m. As I said, there's no exams, just assessments. So 3,000-word assessment at the end of each module. For the clinical practice, it's an ongoing assessment, and you will have criteria to meet during that process. We also have a study skills student support department where we can support you with academic needs. There is also pastoral support available. And it's a good time to talk about pace of study. If for any reason you began on a full-time pace of study, but it became too tough for you because of commitments that you have outside ION, then you are able to change pace and delay to give you a little bit of time to catch up if required. And of course, we have requirements and commitments from you. So really part-time, we're looking for you to be spending 20 hours per week, and full-time 30 hours per week. And the majority of this will be self-study. You need a computer, a Mac or PC with strong broadband connection, as this is online, and you need Microsoft Office for delivery of the assessments. You will need Zoom Teams to be able to access the live webinar. And be fit and ready to go. To make sure you've really considered what time you have spare. So we suggest that you do write it down and make yourself a little bit of a planner. So where would you fit this time in to complete your study? As I mentioned, we can offer study breaks and we are flexible, and there's also a variety of payment options. We're accredited by the British Accreditation Council and also NTEC, the gold star in nutritional therapy courses, and recognised by the CNHC and BANT. We have numerous ION alumni, or significantly more than numerous now, and you may see them as Instagram influencers or around social media, in the news, in the media, talking about their specialities. And some of these are listed on the left-hand side, all of which have very different foci, and all have studied super well here at ION and still stay in touch, of course. So why choose ION? Well, positive student voice feedback, always given 5 stars for that support that we give to our students. Graduates enter to successful careers, as you can see, and make a difference. Our lecturers are also practitioners, so we know how it is on the ground right now. And we've been specialists in nutritional therapy since 1984. You can have extra student benefits, so discounts at health food shops, also notifications of graduate roles and placements. You'll also have student union membership. And this opens a wealth of opportunities. So you might already consider what you might want to do, but that could change over time. So is it clinical practice? Is it specialist practice? Would you like to work with the community or in doctors' surgeries, helping with de-prescribing? Or maybe product development, media and writing, Instagram influencer, or just education. I shouldn't say just education, should I? Being in education, it might be, but we end up working with us as a lecturer. Course fees, please view the website for all of the current fees. And next steps. So if you are interested in knowing more, then please do have a look on the website. You have here the social media tags and also the contact number and email address. I hope that's been super helpful for you. Any questions at all, please do not hesitate to contact. We're very much approachable and would love to have a chat in person. Take care.